Hello, world. Patricia O'Connor and Frida Reba Darcy here. And what you see before you tonight, let's see, what is it? Sunday night. Sunday. And what you see before you is a little pond that I acquired recently. And we already did a video on this once. And in that video, we did quite a bit of stuff. We did. When I got this tree, it was upright and sort of had this question mark curl in it. And what we did before was I put a hard bend right here and changed the angle. So also, I started trying to close up this curlicue and bring this in a little tighter. But I found this to be, like I said, this is a Mugo. And I found it to be pretty tough going. But with all the struggles, it ended up being a fairly long video. But I kind of I would say I'm 80% good. I am. I'm 80% good with what we did. Which is also to say, I'm 20% not good with what we did. What do I dislike? I blew the angle. I think I went too much with the angle. It's not really so much the angle, it's I planted it too low. I don't want the whole tree laying on the ground the way it's laying. I want some clearance underneath here. Also, more specifically, I want more room to bend the tree as we need to. And I don't have a preconceived notion how this is going to going in. I don't have my first 3 moves thought out, except that I do have a distinct memory of this being a tough tree to bend. This is my first Mugo. Mugos grow apparently incredibly slowly. The dwarf variety, even more so. And that might be part of what I'm seeing here, because this thing it was really tough to bend. So instead of doing the wire method, which was entrenching it a lot, and I was worried about the amount of damage, I'm gonna go plastic. We're gonna see if we can sling some plastic around tonight and make that work for us. Now, what we can't really do is, like I said, I don't have my first couple of moves thoroughly sought out here. But what I do know so far is that, as I said earlier, I think it's planted a little low in the pot. I have some more substrate standing by, and I have my lucky little scooper hanging out for when we get that far. So that is one move that I suspect I'll be making right off, is to cut this guy free. Also, this would be, I'm learning to do these guys several different ways. My learning process consists of online courses that I'm taking, and trial and error in front of you guys. And it'll always be like that, some stuff all at some point. My tools today we will be working with zip ties, my weenie skewers, and our bamboo pokers. Although these aren't bamboo pokers, they're weenie skewers. They come in a little plastic bag when you're in an area of a store that retail likes to refer to as impulse aisle. That's where stuff sticks to you and just makes its way into your hand without even knowing that you were going to buy that stuff. The kids play into, people who like candy play well into, tabloids play into that, hot dog skewers play into that. So that'll be one of the tools we'll be using tonight. Also, I have my soft needle nose and my soft channel locks. But wait, they look a little different. They were white soft tips, and now they appear to be black. I have rubber taped these guys. I put some of my I love rubber tape. I just think that's the greatest stuff in the world. So I wrap that on there, and I wrap that on there. I was worried about whenever, sometimes I'll take something and grab it like this and put a hook in it, or I'll grab the wire and put a hook in it, and I can see the edge of the pliers laying into the bark. And so I'm trying to do less damage with that. So in that way, I have in fact modified my my soft touch needle nose and my soft touch other pliers. So, oh, I am so sorry. I'm just now having just now the reason I started to show you a lesson learned, and then I got sidetracked by showing you the soft pliers and stuff. The reason that's important, this tree actually got a little damage from my shenanigans last time. I didn't really look at the tree to see how it was, how life before me. Well, I could cut that back better so I don't wound myself. You know, it's not like I checked the tree out to see how it was for start. In fact, I should probably get better about that. But for the most part, I haven't come along later and seen anything on any of my trees that was huge scars that I was going, oh God, what the hey? You know, I didn't notice that when I bought it, or I wish I'd have seen that earlier. No, the only thing I've ever seen is one of my ponderosas has some rollover where it had like a hollow feature or something that had rolled over. And it looks to be something that was probably pre-collection, and it's a beautiful little feature. Hardly anything where I would go, well, this doesn't look specimen to me. So to that end, we are supposed to hopefully be able to do the things we do without marring and scarring things up too bad. And I think I've got a pretty good little scar right there. And I can't find it now, which is encouraging. But between you and me, I already know I've seen it. I've got a scar on the trunk here somewhere. I promise I'm not going to hide it when I see it again. And I saw it when I did it a couple of weeks ago, and now I can't find it. Which I say that makes me feel a little better. But when I do see it, I'll show you. So what I'd like to do tonight is raise the base. That's why I cut it loose from its thing. And I'd like to continue the motion. I wanted to put more motion in this tree than we put in it. I think we got off to a good start, is what I would say. But at the same time, I think we have more to go. I think this tree has more to go. And I just wanted to see if I could get away with that. Just totally remove the wire by cutting it from the top. Now this tree should be free. We'll give it a little of one of those. And I'm not looking to just totally, I'd like to cover these roots better, but I'm not totally looking to do any more than what I just did there. Maybe break this up a little to make sure that when it comes loose, that we don't have any of its fine roots stuck down in there that get broke off. I just want to make sure that most of this substrate is loose and free enough. Allow me to adjust that angle if I need to. Okay. Where are we at? Okay. That is so doable. I don't mind that at all. I don't think we're going to get in too much trouble by doing that. So far, so good. And I think by tomorrow we should be seeing some more storms roll back in, and we're going to have more wind. And it's weird. You just see those storms just. And here you can see the work we did. The tree came up out of the ground, and we put that bend in it, and then we put this bend in it. And what I would like to do tonight is see if I can close that up. That's going to be a hard bend, but I'm going to see if I can do that with the help of these zip ties. We'll see how that works if I do that. Meanwhile, I'm going to wrap the little thing up. Okay. Now, don't lose your perspective since I'm going to go this way. Or maybe come up from the bottom. How you doing, Frida? I am going to try not to do what I usually do and get lost in what I'm doing and pull my work up closer the way I like to do, get all up close and personal with stuff. Next thing you know, I'm working in the thing right up in my face, which is off camera, and y'all are just sitting there going, I wonder what she's doing over there. I can see it now. We're totally going to win at this. We're totally gonna win at this. Sometimes also you get a once you start kind of working a tree a little bit, you start getting more motion out of it right there. Like if I were ready, I could have taken all of that up right then, but I wasn't ready. Like if you first time you move one of these little trees, you're going like, holy crud, I don't think I'm strong enough to budge that. And just a little bit later, it starts to get a little bit more pliable, maybe is what I'm looking for. I don't know if that's exactly the right word, but it starts kind of working, it starts working your way a little bit. I mean, that's hardly me really torquing. I'm just kind of still squeezing it together like that. I haven't broke out the big stuff yet. Big stuff. See if I can do part of that in the towel also. Now I've got those. Can I get a grip on that? Can you do it, Patricia? Look at that. we are we've already achieved, I would say, some measure of success with this guy. Already. We're already doing good things. I already like what I'm seeing here. Oh, I forgot to say, with our weather the way it is, I could look up any minute and see the screen frozen or flag come up saying you're out of data when I'm not. If that happens, that will lead to, unless I was just like fixing to say goodnight, folks, drive careful, that will lead to part 2. Yeah. So I think I can lose this tension wire now, as I kind of see it dangling in the breeze a little. Where are those scissors? Where are those cutters? Right there. So yeah, look, that's how much we've done. That was a tight wire earlier. I still see I'm kind of stoked about what we've already achieved here. But at the same time, it doesn't look like it's going to be that much harder to get a little bit more out of it too. I'm kind of stoked about that. Okay, get out of there. Thank you, Wara. You did great. So what I'm speaking of is we've just brought that right totally in there. And I think I want it more like that. Do I do that with the second one? Yeah, I think so. I think that'll take some of the bind off this one if I do that with the second one. I hadn't thought of that until just a second ago. I wasn't planning on lining the trunk up with zip ties. I was thinking I would use one. But, like a boomer, if one's good, two's better. Okay. All right. Basically the same idea as 11 on the volume knob, or even 12 on the volume knob. It's 2 better. Is that doing anything for us? Kinda is. There. That worked out. Are we still in the movie? Yeah, we're still in the movie here and everything. Oh. There you go. You are such a sweetheart. Okay, now, so what you see there is I have this second zip tie. I'm going to try to make sure before I put a lot of tension on it that I've got it. Yeah, do that with it. That makes so much more sense. Pat. And then pull that guy up. I'm just pushing that down with my thumb. If I had to, I've got my channel locks ready again to just close that right up. But so far, I've done that quite a bit with the old thumb. Yeah, I think I'm about done with the thumb. I'm probably going to have to go with the toys here. But it shouldn't be, compared to what that first bin I just did a little while ago, I was really worried that I didn't have a good bite on it. But the rubber seemed to help it stay, seemed to really help it stay its hold. I wasn't even so much thinking about that as much as I was just thinking about the lack of damage from from having it exposed like that. Anyway, a little bit more. Come on. Frida, you are so good. You are such a good baby, Frida. Oh, Pat, that's it right there. This was hard to bend. I mean, we made that look easy. And we made that look easy because we had the right toys for the job at the moment. But bending Mugo pine trunks are no joke. They are solid little rascals. Nothing but respect here. That's a tough little guy there. That's okay. See, that's what we did. I like that. I like that. We could probably have gone a little. Probably could have closed that up all the way. I got a little zealous. I got a little crazy with my cut there. There's nothing left to bite on that to get a better bite on that zip tie. I think we're going to call that it, and then go back in with our substrate here and move forward from here. That's what we're going to do. All right, so let's do this. Let's throw another wire in the bottom of that pot and take it from there. "23 minutes in, I think we've done what we really. I think I achieved what I wanted to do, and I knew I was kind of winging it. You know, I like to think about it and visualize myself going in, and as long as I'm sort of doing what I visualized, then I don't just totally feel like I'm coming out of left field and winging it. But I didn't have that coming in on this one. This was sort of a redo. And, and part of it was I didn't totally hate the stuff that we had done before. It's like, are you sure you want to do a redo? And I'm like, well, yeah, several things. Here, baby. One, we could have done that angle better. A lot better, even. And two, no better time than right now. And three, with it as low in the pot as we planted it, that wasn't going to make doing any more work to the trunk any easier. As it was, that wasn't bad, but that could have been a real pain in the butt, like pushing this wire through that piece of mesh is right now. That was, talk about a pain in the butt. That almost made up for it right there. Look what it did to that wire before it wanted to go through. Okay, stop whining. Anyway, I think that went. I'm pretty psyched by the way that went. I think the new angle is going to be also a big improvement in the looks of the finished tree. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works out too. And this mesh isn't that bad, but I didn't cut. I cut those. See what I did? You can't see it probably, but normally when I cut those wires, I cut those at an angle so they'll be sharp. And I forgot to. I wasn't thinking about it then. And man, talk about make a difference. I should listen to my own advice. That made that difficult. Okay. It's all right. Get our screens settled. This is a good little pot. Just a little unglazed pot, suitable, perfect, exactly what the doctor ordered when it comes to when it comes to doing pines. You and I are both all elbows today, Miss Frida. Okay, I have a scoop. I don't have to go. As much fun as it is to play in the dirt, it's not necessary or mandatory. So, today was just so pretty. I had been behind on catching up on my videos, and I'm still not all the way caught up. But I made up for a lot of lost ground. Today, it was good to see everybody. I tell you, I'm really excited at the prospect of seeing all of those little pine trees come up. Haven't seen some other videos today. Well, haven't seen Matt's video at Bobcat Bonsai, looking at his different seeds. He already had his pine trees were already coming up, which makes me really excited for mine. That's the same person that they came from. And so yeah, if what he is having is any indication, we should be okay. We should be, we should be A-okay on that for sure. Maybe that. Also, maybe plant the tree a little farther back this time. I think I probably put it close to the center and then just kind of had it hanging off. I could do that. I could have done that a little better. I could have also taken, as I recall, I probably could have taken a little bit more time with that part of it. I think whenever we got to this part of it, I was kind of flying low. We'd already taken a couple of hours just to get there. So yeah, I was kind of maybe there. Let's see. Don't do that. Do that. So that's kind of what she says. I just said take more time to do this, and I'm kind of rushing through it. But I kind of knew I kind of felt like I knew what I didn't like about it before, which in itself eliminates quite a few possibilities. When you do that, you kind of are starting from a better place. You saw, nothing teaches you what you want like seeing what you don't want. Hopefully. All right, let's pull that back. And looking for okay, we can do this with we can do that with these. Don't need anything weirder than that. So I feel really good. I think we did okay there. Come on, can you do that? What I'm supposed to be telling y'all is to twist and release, twist and release, twist and release. I think pretty much my old wrists are so sore I only get like a quarter of a turn doing any of this ever. So that kind of makes it to where I have to twist and release anyway. But for those of you who still have full dexterity, if you just wind that puppy around without releasing the tension on it, the wire will break after about 2.5 turns. Dude. All right, so I think the amount of stuff that I have exposed here on the top means that I'm going to do a top dressing on this after I've punched down some of this soil. I probably won't do that on camera tonight because in my last video, what we did on the balcony, I had a colander with some sphagnum moss and some green moss, and I still have some of that, and it'll probably get that, but that's a 2-minute thing. I'm not gonna get up from camera and go traipsing off across the living room for a colander of moss. We'll just phone that part in, and I might include that on the thumb. I'm not making a big promise because it's not going to be like, I'm not really dangling you candy or nothing. It's peat moss, for God's sakes. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That with this amount of exposed roots on here, I'm probably going to pile up some peat moss on here to keep all of that stuff happy. I like our little twisteroo we got there. I think that the next thing to attack will be this, but I don't think I have to necessarily do it. I don't necessarily think I have to do all of this at one time. We can throw a lasso over that guy, and I don't have. Yeah, I already do. I know what I would do there. I would fold it down right at us. You want to do that now, Pat? How would I do that right now? No, I don't want to do that right now. But what I will eventually do is, you can see that comes up kind of like it. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe it looks too small, but to me, it definitely looks like it kind of has a pat attitude. It looks like it's flipping the bird. What I would do is bend that down because I don't know. I could see in nature why it would go back up with all this other stuff twisted. But at the same time, I would kind of want this twist to continue and bring this point down and then bring these guys up. That's going to be another hard bend. And I don't really want to do that all at once. I think we've, the old bank robbery thing. Get in, get out, nobody hurt. We're going to call that. So except for I'm going to put some moss around here after I've done the little chopstick on the substrate, on the chopsticks on the substrate. Yeah, say that fast. I'm in sales, I can speak. So yeah, this little tree I gotta say, it came out of the box here, and I don't know what its life was in Maryland. I bet it was pretty good. It was probably in a climate that it was more accustomed to, and I'm sure the guy I got it from on the eBay auction. Hey, excuse me, no, those are bills. My dog was trying to dig the bills out of the garbage. Why were you trying to dig the power bill out of the garbage? We already paid that. What a weirdo, though, right? Is that weird? Okay. All right. So yeah, I could probably put some baby oil on this pot too before it goes outside. But this stuff up here, it will get treated better. We will put a little peat moss up here. I may do something. A couple of nights ago, watching Bonsai Mariah, I learned about something he called a Bo Peep. Bo Peep, like little Bo Peep lost her sheep. And it's kind of like what it would sound like. He took a piece of wire about this long that was straight and bent a half circle in it coming back. And it would be, you would use that in the same way that girls have been pinning their hair back with bobby pins for years. Put a little moss in there, see that root sticking up, grab it in your Bo Peep and chuck it back in there. Yeah, that isn't part of the lesson, or if that were really part of today's lessons, I would have actually made and shown you what a Bo Peep is. But anyway, like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. Our next drop will probably be mañana. We'll do something out on the balcony, or I'll bring something in, like we're doing now, and put it on the tripod, and we'll scroll up some tunes and bend on some trees or cut on some trees or repot some trees or something. This Mugo pine is a new addition for us. We've only had it a few months, and I've already had it out of the pot twice. I do know better than that. I just kind of thought that I didn't do it right the first time, and we will do it again if we don't do it right the first time. So I think it's probably happier now. I'd like to put a little cut paste on that too, now that I see it. And thank you so much for watching.